So let's ask the question, who are Batman's greatest love interests? It goes without saying that Batman has, well, he's gotten around. He's had multiple different love interests over the years, from various degrees of relationships with various different women. Today I'm going to talk about the 4 women that came closest to capturing Bruce's heart. Starting things off, Julie Madison. First appearing in Detective Comics issue 31, Julie was introduced out of nowhere as Bruce Wayne's fiancée. She would remain in that role until around issue number 40 of Detective Comics, which as far as I know was her last appearance, and her and Bruce kind of separated from there, off screen. Julie has made some appearances during the quote-unquote modern age or early 2000s, like Batman and the Mad Monk, and Batman and the Monster Men, where she was reintroduced as a high-end socialite. However, she didn't really have that great of a relationship with Bruce, and she was more made as a story piece, a damsel in distress. Upon New 52, she gets reintroduced in Zero Year, and briefly shown as trying to reconnect with Bruce. However, Bruce says, fuck that shit, and has Alfred tell her no. But it isn't until after Endgame, where Bruce loses his memories, and is basically a blank slate, does him and Julie get together. This is probably the strongest interpretation of their relationship, and while it greatly outweighs the other 2 versions of Julie, this short time with the character works really well. Her and Bruce are truly in love with each other. The problem is she's in love with Bruce, and she's not in love with Batman. And their romance comes to an end when Julie is the one that restores Bruce's memories of being Batman, effectively ending their relationship. Ultimately, while a lot of good was done to foster this relationship after Endgame, it would have never worked, because this version of Julie Madison loved Bruce Wayne, the blank slate, the one that did not have the trauma of his family being murdered in front of him. She loved Bruce, but she did not love Batman. Next is Silver St. Cloud. First appearing in Detective Comics 470, Silver St. Cloud is introduced as a rich socialite in Gotham. And her and Bruce have an up and down relationship throughout the years, whether it's in the Detective Comics stuff back in the late 70s, whether it's in the Legend of the Dark Knight stuff, or leading into the more modern era. Actually, the best stuff that has happened with Silver St. Cloud is in Batman Winding Greer, which was done by Kevin Smith, a sequel to his Cacophony series. In this, we see Bruce and Silver find love with each other. Silver may not be a superhero, but she understands what it means for him to be Batman, what that trauma means, and how she can be okay with it. She loves both the Bruce Wayne and the Batman, and accepts him for who he is. And she's one of the few people that can actually bring Bruce Wayne to smile, bring out a goofier side of him, actually make him forget the trauma. So much so that he actually proposes to her. And boy, once Catwoman finds out about this, well, it does not go over well. Unfortunately, the comic leaves off on a cliffhanger with Onomatopoeia seemingly killing Silver St. Cloud. But we never know because Kevin Smith hasn't finished the story. Like I said, I always love Silver and Bruce together. Silver accepted Bruce for who he was, both the Batman and the Bruce Wayne aspect. And she could live with both of them. She did not have a problem staying home at night while he was out as Batman. She accepted that, which made her a great love interest. Next, of course, is Talia al Ghul. First appearing in Detective Comics issue 411, Talia and Bruce were instantly attracted to each other and started a torrid on-again, off-again romance. And while it's clear that Bruce does love Talia and Talia does love Bruce, they have a complicated, even toxic relationship with each other, mainly due to her father Ra's al Ghul and everything that happens since they meet. The biggest thing being their son, Damian Wayne. This is one of the biggest divides and one of the biggest connections between the two of them. While Talia over the years has gone down a much more darker path, I always enjoyed what their relationship has evolved into. Sure, they may be sword fighting with each other one day over the fate of the world, and the next day going to Damian's parent-teacher conference to make sure that he's not screwing things up at school. Because although they could never really be together, they have one thing that is forever with each other, and that is their son Damian. And of course, last but not least, and undoubtedly his strongest love interest, Catwoman. First appearing in Batman issue number 1, Catwoman's status as villain, hero, anti-hero, neutral, and everything in between has followed her entire career. And Bruce and her have had an up and down relationship. The two of them were incredibly close in the 70s until she got her brainwashed and memories erased. They reestablished things in Hush, at least to a certain degree, and then their relationship grows enough that he proposes to her in the Rebirth era. I do think the biggest fumble that DC has done in the past 10 years with Batman has been not allowing Bruce and Selina to solidify their relationship. They are everything but married to each other. Actually, every time we see the future, they are together and they have a daughter, Helena Wayne. She's actually been reintroduced as canon from the future in JSA. But there's no denying that Bruce and Selina are perfect for each other. Both of them have trauma, both of them are broken to a degree, but both of them understand each other. Both of them love each other. They enjoy each other's company. They enjoy being around each other regardless of the situation, with the masks or without the masks. Selina will always be considered Bruce's greatest love interest. Even if a new one is brought into play, she's always been the closest to Bruce finding a soulmate. And hopefully one day, DC pulls the trigger and finally have these two get together. Because at this point, why are they not?